All right, we are here at the TriStar Gym in Montreal, Quebec with UFC lightweight John the Bull Makdessi in preparation for his fight against fellow Canadian Sam Stout that is coming up at UFC 154 November the 17th. And John, typically on these cards we get Canadian against the outsider, but in this version we get two Canadians going at it, and looking at this undercard, a very action-packed one, and I think a lot of people looking at you two to deliver some fireworks on November the 17th.
Yes, well, I'm very excited. I was training very hard during the summer. I was hoping to fight in November. When the UFC called me, they basically said, "You want to fight Sam Stout?" I know he was scheduled to fight. His opponent pulled out, and they asked me to fight him, and it was a no-brainer. You know, Sam Stout, I respect him very highly, and he's a veteran. I respect him a lot, and I just can't wait out. I can't wait to go and fight.
Did it cause any issues in regards to the fact that a longtime training partner of Sam Stout, Chris Horodecki, was working here at TriStar? Suddenly this fight is made, and I guess a bit of a conflict there, I guess, for Chris of, kind of being caught in the middle here.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, TriStar Gym, it's a big gym. A lot of, so many different fighters that come out here. My goal is to focus on my training. I got my own team, you know, and you know what, at the end of the day, it didn't really bother me, regardless of Chris Horodecki was training here. I mean, at the end of the day, my goal is to train and fight, and there's no secret what I'm going to be doing, and there's no secret what he's going to be doing. We both know how to fight, and it's just who's going to be more hungry that night.
When you see so many people kind of clamoring for this fight, John Makdessi, Sam Stout, does that add any pressure in the fact that you're going to be here in the Bell Center in Montreal? I mean, so much focus here on this fight with George St. Pierre's return. I mean, this is a very high-profile fight for yourself.
It's always been an honor for me, you know. I always wanted to fight in the big shows. I believe in my skills. I believe that I can be one of the best fighters. You know, every fighter goes through their ups and downs. Sports, you learn a lot from especially MMA. I've been competing since age of 6, and I'm just very happy to be a part of a big show. I'm very excited, and I just want to. It really means a lot to me having a fans support, and I'm always going to fight for the fans, and I'm always going to try to go out there and give it my all.
Your last fight, a very tough one with Anthony Njokuani, very tough lightweight. You came into that fight overweight. Can you tell us a bit about the circumstances behind that and trying to make it down to 155 of just the issues you had with that fight?
Well, the thing is, you know, the funny part is it's just that, if you don't try something different, you never. You know, if you never make a mistake in life, you know, you never try something different, you know what I mean? And I was trying a different nutrition plan, and it obviously didn't work out to my advantage. I felt very sick trying to cut the last 2 pounds. I was in sauna over 20 minutes. Just for some reason, the way I was cutting weight, I didn't do it the proper way, and obviously the doctor told me, you know, it's either you risk your health or you'll be in the hospital, you know. So for me, it was more important to fight, you know. So I had no choice to stop trying to cut the weight and just lose the 20% and fight.
And have you gone back to your older way of cutting weight, or?
I learned I learned the hard way, and I learned my mistakes, and I changed my diet plan, of course, and I won't be doing the same mistake, you know.
Do you ever rule out a future move to 170, or is 155 a weight you are comfortable moving forward that you'll be able to make?
No, you know, the funny part is I'm a small guy. I never understood why. You know, I can easily walk at 180. You know, it's very weird for me. I never understood my body until today. I never understand how I can weigh so much. You guys, one guy told me your bone density. You have very thick bones. You know, and I mean, I'm a small 155er. You know, I'm not planning to fight 170. Some people want me to fight 145, but if I gotta cut to 145, I gotta chop off my left leg.
Wow. And we saw you pretty much have to fight a welterweight back at UFC 140 with Dennis Hallman, and I've got to imagine that you're kind of in a no-win situation here. You're not going to turn down the fight, but at the same time, Dennis Hallman came into that fight looking like a full weight class above you, and it just seemed, I mean, a tough fight for you to take, obviously, in Toronto.
Well, regardless, look, at the end of the day, like I said, fighting is mental, you know, and sometimes mentally you're not there, sometimes you know, physically you're not there. That night, mentally, I wasn't really there, you know, no excuses, you know. At the end of the day, I'm fighting guys who have a lot of experience. So, like I said, I learned a lot from my losses. You know, wins and losses, like I said, sports teaches you a lot, you know, and I believe because of my losses, it's going to make me a stronger fighter.
Aside from the weight cutting, anything different you're doing in this camp in preparation for Sam Stout? Anything specific you've taken from his game that you've prepared for?
Well, I mean, the big difference for me is I'm been training smarter, you know. I've been, you know, before you don't really know, more or less you follow different people, you try to do everything. At the end of the day, I'm doing MMA, and my goal is to mix it. You know, I want to be able to mix all my disciplines, put them together, and I've been working with good guys, trying to train smarter, train harder, but at the same time try to just work on my combinations and just be sharp. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to follow, try to, you know, be a follower and try to, you know, do different things, and you know what I mean.
We hear a lot of fighters use that term, training smarter rather than training harder, and we've seen that just this rash of injuries. Obviously, a lot more cards, a lot more injuries are going to be a byproduct of that. Do you feel that a lot of fighters are kind of seeing that now, that, you know, training smarter right now, just so that your body is in perfect form, or as fighting form? It's I know you guys never go into a fight perfectly healthy, but it seems that a lot of fighters have been making that step of trying to train smarter and not kind of overtraining, which has been an issue in the past with some.
Well, of course, it's very easy to overtrain, you know, in any sport, especially MMA. You know, you have all these disciplines. You got your boxing, you got your wrestling, you got grappling, you got your kickboxing, Muay Thai. You have so many conditioning, all that cardio, anaerobics, all these different aspects you got to work out. So it's very easy to overtrain, because if you're not educated and you don't have the right guys around you, making sure you're doing the proper steps, it's very easy to get injured and to overtrain. You know, so for me, having a good team behind me and training properly, for me, it's mentally giving me a bigger boost.
Well, John, we are very much looking forward to it. It is a loaded undercard at UFC 154. John Makdessi in action against fellow Canadian Sam Stout is going to be happening at the Bell Center Saturday, November the 17th. And we wish you all the best going forward, John. Thank you.
Thank you.